If you want the single biggest AI story right now, it's not another chatbot feature. It's electricity. NVIDIA is talking about power-flexible AI factories, data centers designed to act like grid assets. Translation: whoever controls compute is now negotiating with utilities like a power plant.
And the subtext is, the bottleneck isn't GPUs anymore, it's time to power and time to permit. NVIDIA's framing is basically, we'll help you connect faster by letting the grid borrow flexibility from your AI workloads. That's a huge shift in how AI infrastructure gets built.
So today, we're going to connect the dots. Massive compute contracts, robots moving from demos to factories, and regulators trying to catch up, while businesses discover that AI ROI is a governance problem, not a model problem. Hey, welcome to your AI future. The AI revolution isn't coming, it's here, and it's moving fast. But here's the good news. You don't have to figure it out alone. Every episode, we break down exactly what's changing, how it hits your career and your daily life, and the real steps you can take right now to stay ahead. This transition leads to abundance, and we're going to help you get there. Let's go. Let's start with the power story because it's the base layer for everything else. NVIDIA and Emerald AI partnered with major energy players, AES, Constellation, NextEra, Vistra, to push the idea of a power-flexible AI factory. The headline claim is that flexible facilities could help unlock up to 100 gigawatts of capacity across the U.S. grid.
That's the key number, 100 gigawatts. And the mechanism is load flexibility. If your cluster can pause or shift non-urgent training jobs during grid stress, you can interconnect faster and avoid being sized for peak demand. NVIDIA's packaging this as the Vera Rubin DSX reference design plus DSX Flex software, with Emerald AI's conductor orchestrating what gets throttled and when.
And then you see the business version of that same fight. Long-term capacity deals. Nebius signs a 5-year agreement with Meta, $12 billion of dedicated capacity, plus up to $15 billion more of additional compute purchases. That's up to about $27 billion, with delivery starting early 2027, built on one of the first large-scale deployments of NVIDIA's Vera Rubin platform.
This is what it looks like when compute turns into a strategic commodity. It's not, we'll buy some GPUs. It's, we're locking a supply chain for years. But it also creates concentration risk. If you're a company that doesn't have a Meta-sized wallet, you're competing for what's left after hyperscalers reserve capacity.
Pragmatically, if you run a mid-market company, the decision isn't train a frontier model. It's pick an AI platform that gives you governance, security, and cost control. Because the raw infrastructure economics are heading toward long-term contracts, not on-demand fairy dust.
And the technical takeaway? Architecture choices matter. If you design workflows that can be interrupted, batching, asynchronous jobs, graceful degradation, you can play the PowerFlex game and lower costs. If everything is real-time, always on, you're buying the most expensive electrons.
Humanoid robots are starting to look less like a science project and more like a manufacturing story. 1X says it can build up to 10,000 NEO humanoid robots annually, pointing to a 58,000 square foot vertically integrated factory in Hayward, California, and a second facility coming online in San Carlos.
And they claim their first year of planned production sold out in 5 days, 10,000 units booked, with initial deliveries planned for 2026. Whether every unit ships on time is a separate question, but the strategic move is vertical integration. Motors, batteries, sensors, transmissions, structural parts, made in-house to control iteration speed and safety.
This rhymes with what we've seen in EVs and phones. When the product is a platform, the supply chain is strategy. If you can build it yourself, you can change it fast. If you're waiting on suppliers, you're stuck.
There's also a learning strategy embedded in this. 1X is leaning on teleoperation-assisted learning plus a video-based world model, basically using guided real-world interactions to teach the robot instead of brittle task-by-task programming. That's the data flywheel story, but in physical space.
Meanwhile, Apptronic raised $520 million in a Series A extension, backed by Google and Mercedes-Benz, with Reuters citing an approximate $5 billion valuation. The robot is Apollo, and the plan is to fund next-gen versions, expand production, and build a robot training and data collection center in Austin.
And note the partners, Mercedes-Benz and GXO Logistics. This is where pilots turn into, is it cheaper than a human on the night shift? The hard part is not walking. It's reliability, safety certification, and the total cost of ownership, including maintenance, uptime, and incident response.
Here's the lens I'd use. If you're an operator, warehouse, factory, hospital, the question is, what tasks are bounded enough for early robots? Material handling in defined lanes, nightly patrol, simple pick and place. And then, how do you quantify ROI without ignoring safety and training overhead?
And if you're a company deploying humanoids, you need governance like you'd need for software agents. You need a kill switch, access controls, audit logs, and a clear chain of accountability. A robot with autonomy is a system that will make mistakes, and you need the organizational muscle to handle that.
Let's talk business reality. Reuters' 2026 survey says 97% of executives deployed AI agents in the past year, and 59% of companies are investing over $1 million annually in AI technology. That sounds like adoption, but only 29% say they're seeing significant ROI from Gen AI, and only 23% from AI agents.
Which fits what I see in implementation. Individuals get productivity gains quickly. The survey claims AI super users are 5x more productive. But organizations don't get compounding ROI unless workflows, permissions, data quality, and change management are redesigned.
And the security numbers are brutal. The same survey reports 67% of executives believe their company has already suffered a data leak or breach due to unapproved AI tools. That is the shadow AI problem. People doing the work with whatever tool wins today.
Plus 36% say they don't have a formal plan to supervise AI agents, and 35% admit they couldn't immediately pull the plug on a rogue agent. If you're running agentic workflows without those basics, you're basically doing production ops with no fire extinguisher.
So here's the business strategy point. AI is now a management system. If leadership treats it as a tool purchase, it becomes chaos. If they treat it as operating model change, roles, incentives, governance, they get compounding returns.
Concrete steps for companies watching. 1. Pick approved tools and make them frictionless. 2. Implement data boundaries and redaction. 3. Require human review for high-impact decisions. 4. Central logging. And 5. An incident playbook, including how to pause an agent fleet.
Regulators are also maturing. The European Parliament's think tank note on AI Act enforcement describes a hybrid model. Most AI systems are enforced by national authorities, but general-purpose AI model rules are enforced centrally by the Commission's AI Office.
That matters because the AI Office is the enforcement center of gravity for general-purpose models. And the note even flags a digital omnibus on AI proposal that could further centralize enforcement for AI systems integrated into very large online platforms and search engines.
Then zoom to the UK. A legal roundup notes the UK government's March 2026 Copyright and AI report basically keeps the licensing approach, no broad text and data mining exception, and puts emphasis on transparency, labeling, and the idea of unauthorized digital replicas.
For builders, the operational takeaway is provenance. Even if laws differ, companies are converging on practical requirements. Document training data sources where possible, label AI-generated outputs, watermark or add metadata where appropriate, and build internal who touched this content traceability.
And even the U.S. standards world is moving. NIST references an April 7, 2026 concept note for an AI RMF profile on trustworthy AI in critical infrastructure. It's voluntary, but it signals where audits and procurement checklists are headed.
Exactly. Critical infrastructure operators will treat that as a baseline. And when procurement teams adopt it, vendors will feel it. The regulatory stack becomes the hidden driver of which AI products survive in enterprise.
Rapid fire. 1. The Meta-Nebius deal is a reminder that compute is being locked up in multi-year contracts. If you're betting your product on cheap inference, plan for volatility.
2. On longevity. UT Health. San Antonio is launching a randomized trial of rapamycin and everolimus in generally healthy adults ages 65 to 90. Still early days, but it shows the field pushing toward better dosing and biomarker clarity.
3. On functional aging. A frailty trial reported meaningful improvements after a single dose of laromestrocel, including gains in the 6-minute walk test and a share of participants moving to non-frail status. The theme is, health span interventions are increasingly measured by function, not vibes. Look, this change is real, and it's not slowing down. But you showed up, you're paying attention, and that puts you ahead of most people already. If this episode helped you, do me a favor. Hit subscribe, ring that bell, and share this with someone you care about. Because the more people who prepare for this, the better we all come out on the other side. Abundance is where this ends. Let's get there together. This is your AI future.